Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to Ed Talk TV, conversations worth having. I'm so excited that you're here. Even if you're watching the replay, I love it. Welcome. Be sure to hop into the comments there and let me know. Even if you're watching the replay, there'll be questions throughout the show. We like to have fun here. If this is your first time joining, welcome. Let us know if this is your first time. I know I get a lot of replay viewers. When I look down at my phone here, I'm just looking to make sure that everything's showing up okay on the phone and that it gets out there. Also, to give you a little background about the show, because this is new for everyone, is that when we go live at 4 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday. That's right, 5 days a week. It's crazy. And what's great about it is that I get to hang out with you guys all the time. And there's so many great conversations that we have around business, tech, and the user experience. And it allows all of us to really engage with each other and not just with me, right? So that's the beauty of this show, is that it's all about the conversation. That's what I'm about. That's what this show's about. And you'll see our viewers, both live and replay viewers, will be there and allow you to see what's going on. Now, if you were here yesterday, if not, no worries. You can still come over and watch previous episodes. You can either look right here on the Facebook page, or I made it easy for you and have it over on edtalktv.com. I was going to say my original website, which is checkwithed.com. Same thing, you can get there the same way. I'm just checking down here on the actual app just to make sure we're live. So that's what the show's about. If you want to become a guest on the show, because we love having guests come on, share your knowledge, share your experience, all of that stuff, all you have to do is head over to edtalktv.com and you'll see a guest request form on the page. It also talks about the show and what we have going on there. Welcome to those joining. So you'll find all that great info there. Now, here's the other thing that I want you to pay attention to back here on Facebook. Is because we're going to talk about Facebook and tips on how you can stay present on the newsfeed and how you can see people. So we'll get into that here shortly. But part of that is knowing how to actually use Facebook, right? Like, yes, you show up. Yes, you're commenting. Yes, you're going to, like somebody's page. But how do you actually get to see them? Like, how did you get here? Right? Let me know in the comments, even if you're watching the replay, how did you get here? Did you see a post from me in your newsfeed? Did you get a notification from me saying, hey, I'm live? Those are a couple of things that you want to look for. Now, if you didn't get a notification, then that means that you have to change your settings. Meaning, and I'm talking about me, but this is for anybody you follow that you really want to pay attention to, because Facebook is changing the game a lot for us right now. And in order for your page, and frankly, your post in general, to be seen, there has to be good conversation going on. And it also has to be less posting, but more valuable post, if that makes sense. So you're going to post less, but when you do post, you are like on fire, right? Like that's what you want. That's what you want in the conversations as well. Welcome those tuning in. Be sure to drop in the comments. So you want to make sure that you do that. Now, I bring up yesterday's episode, and if you didn't watch it, that's fine, but you can always check in, hey, and see when you join live on my show, I can actually put comments up on the screen. So it's pretty cool. And we're going to actually do some screen share and some other things like that. Welcome those joining. We're just getting into it. And let me know, too, how did you get here? Hey, Latoya. How did you get here? Did you see it did you see my live as a post on the newsfeed, like from my personal page, my personal profile, or from the business page? Or did you actually get a notification? Because those are important to know. And the reason I'm asking you guys, even if you're watching the replay, how you got notice of this is because that's how we're going to determine what your settings are and what you're kind of trying to figure out here. So when it comes to Facebook, they have made so many big changes. We're going to talk about some of that today because they're really important. Hey, Erica. Erica was on our show yesterday, which we'll mention about that here in a second again. But the reason we're talking about this and going to talk about some of the tips that you can start implementing is because you are wanting to make sure that you train yourself and others. Perfect. I got a notification. Awesome. Look at this. Look at this. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 on the screen. Love it. I get notifications. Perfect. You know why those who are watching even the replay, why you get notifications is because they actually turned on the notifications. They went to like, follow, and I'm going to show that in a minute to my page. Perfect. It showed up on your timeline. Awesome. Look at this. I'm going to put everyone up here. Well, not everyone, but we're going to put a few up here. You guys are diehards. I love it. Look at that. Boom. Boom. See, this is what's fun. So these are the types of things that you want to ask your audience, right? You want to know, how are they finding you? You know, you'll probably relate to email lists or polls, which we've talked about polls this week. Those are ways that you, and feedback, right? Surveys. I mean, that's the way you figure out how people are finding you. You know, did they see an ad? Did they go to your store? Did they check your website? Did they hear from a friend? Like, all of those things are things that you want to start implementing here on Facebook as well. You want to start asking your audience, who are they? And once you know that, which some of you might already know, then you want to ask, how are they finding you? Was it a referral? Did it pop up in the news feed? Did they have a conversation with a friend in the comments and decide, hey, this person's cool, I want to start following them, you know? By the way, yesterday, the show was so much fun. We had so many tech issues, but we had fun with it, and it shows that, you know, tech happens to all of us. But I do want to point out, the comments were on fire yesterday. Not just with me, not just with my guest Erica, who's in the comments live right now, but with you guys. That is what we want to see here on this show, and that's what you want to see on whatever you produce as well. You want to be able to see each other and comment with each other. That's why I encourage you all the time to comment, not just because I want the comments, because I want you to engage with each other and be able to connect with one another. Say, hey, ask what you do. You know, you guys show up all the time. It's okay to do that. That's the conversation. And that's how you get noticed, which is also why I put this little bit of homework, as some of our viewers would call it, this little bit of homework to you, even if you're watching the replay, to always drop at least a comment. At least say, hey, watching the replay, you know, great, or, you know, your hair was goofy, or, you know, your lighting was weird, whatever, it doesn't matter. But the reason you want to do that is because your profile now shows up in the comments. You could have a really cool name, a really cool photo, or, which is ideal, this next one, is you have a really good comment. You bring up a great point. You brought up some insight. You know, yesterday there were so many great ones. You guys were awesome. One was even for Erica to do a virtual book signing, and we kind of expanded upon that during the live broadcast. Same thing happens afterwards. I call it the after party. If you guys are watching the replay, that's the after party. Comments still go. When you comment, it notifies me. When you comment and tag a friend that is in the comments there, it notifies them. Then they come back and they comment. And we're doing this, right? We're actually having a conversation as if we're at a coffee shop. So that's the important thing. And that's like the number one tip on how to get seen on Facebook, is that you want to be about the conversation. You don't want to be about the sale. That comes later. That comes all the way later. Like, you have to be involved in the conversation. And we're going to talk about like what that looks like here and go through some of that stuff. But it really comes down to the conversation piece. And now you're noticing and you're seeing Facebook change everything for that, because they realize, like, people are bored. People are tired of going through and just doing this on the news feed, right? They don't necessarily need Facebook in their life all the time. You know, that's a great question, actually. Those watching, even if you're watching the replay view, even if you're a replay viewer, let me know in the comments, are you noticing that you spend less time on Facebook? Let me know in the comments. Do you spend less time on Facebook, we'll say, within the last year? We'll just go with the year. Over time, I'm sure it's changed. I know for me, Facebook, my time on Facebook has changed dramatically since starting my own business. And I've spent more time on Facebook, but with a different intention versus just seeing what everyone's up to, right? I'm actually on here connecting with you guys. I'm actually developing relationships and going through. I mean, this show's international, you guys. We're international, and here in the US, we're dinner time show. So it's a lot of fun. So, yep, some are saying yes, that they're seeing their time spent here less. So that's cool. Yes, less and more on IG. Oh, wait, that's an interesting one. So here's the reply to that then. Why are you spending more time on IG? That, let us know in the comments, because that will be interesting to see the difference, because everyone has their different platform, right? You guys, you're here on Facebook watching me, which is awesome and it's great, but maybe this isn't your platform where you actually hang out and engage because your audience isn't here, or they're here but you're not into Facebook. Maybe you're really visual and you really like Instagram and the way it works. That's okay. All those things will change, so just keep that in mind. But trying to build a following on Facebook, perfect. I'm going to put that one on here too. But you have more followers on IG. Okay, so here's the thing, Erica. I have no idea, by the way, those watching, I have no idea about Erica's followers, her account, or anything like that. And this is just general information on Instagram versus, say, Facebook. So on Instagram, part of my hesitation with, I'm on there and I post little bits here. I use stories more than anything over there. But for me, the engagement factor, I don't want to put in time and energy into Instagram because I can do that better over here on Facebook. It's just formatted better for me and it just works. However, on Instagram, I feel like there's more spam and more what's called bots, which means fake followers, right? And more of the business of selling followers, meaning when you start to see your numbers go up and then all of a sudden down, that's tends to be because people's accounts, real and fake, have been sold. And so then they realize, like, I don't know about you guys, but have you ever gone through your feed and noticed, who is Banana? I haven't seen Banana. That's totally random. I don't know. But, you're going through and you're like, I've never seen this person before. I never hit follow, unfollow. So you do that, right? And you go through and change that and you unfollow them. That happens a lot and it drives me up the wall because I try to protect like my feed, especially on Instagram, a lot. And so when you do that, when you're on different platforms, they're going to work differently for you. And so for me, Facebook is where it's at. And that's where I can have the most connection here. So you have to go where it works for you and where your audience is. It's okay to be on both, which you are. And you'll get fake accounts here on Facebook too. It's just not as crazy as Instagram for that. So sorry to break anybody's heart if you thought like you had, 1 million followers and they're all quality followers. I mean, shout outs to you if you do. I certainly hope so. But chances are, I'm just going to be honest because these are the conversations worth having, right? So when it comes to Facebook, what you want to do is I'm going to go ahead and bring my screen over here. Watch this. So since we are using a desktop, which, by the way, how fun is this that let's just pause for a second and think about this. So we've gone in time, just in general, and I'm going to tie Facebook in here. We've gone in time where we went from desktop computers to laptops to phones and tablets, right? Now, we're still mobile. Don't get me wrong. We're totally mobile. However, especially with Facebook shows like this, we're seeing that we are, at least I'm seeing this, we are getting back to the computer because we want fancy things like this to have fun with, which we can't do yet on things like this. So it's just really interesting. I had that observation today. I don't know if you guys are seeing that or not, but it's really fun to see that now it's kind of shifted back a little bit. We go from one extreme to the other, and then we kind of come back and meet in the middle there. So it's just really interesting how we do that. Okay, so let me switch my screen over here, and you're going to be able to see me in the corner down here. Hey. So I'm showing you my page because this is what I want you to make sure that you know and that you start training your followers to do this, okay? So when you are on a page, what you want to do is you want to not only like, this is great, but that's only a baby step. What you want to do is you want to get people to follow your page, which is why I have more followers on my page than I do likes. And that's okay, because a follow is more, in my opinion, quality versus the like. The like doesn't really do much, but if you follow, then that actually can send notifications. And then what I suggest that you train yourself and your audience to do is change the defaults here to see first, and then also on for the events. Now, the reason you want to do that is because that's where the actual notification is going to be sent out to people who are following your page. You know, it's going to be higher up in the newsfeed. It's important to start doing that now because it's changed. It's constantly changing, and it meaning the algorithm, so the newsfeed. So less and less is going to be shown of your posts unless people are actually following you. And we're going to dive a little deeper into this. I have some articles here on the tabs that we'll look at. But really, it's all about diving deeper into the conversations that people are having. That we're over all of this, you know, all of these just post, try to be seen 20 times a day, you know, 50 times a day, depending on where you're at. Like, we're just done with that. Like, we can't take in anymore, right? And the newsfeed's really cluttered. So, hey, Jane, so we are trying to really simplify the newsfeed. Also to make more ad space too, right? But to simplify it, we have to make it so that it less is more. So think about it this way. When you're running your own business, and we'll just do consulting business, right? Because that's fairly easy. When you're running your own business, you want to make sure that, well, your whole goal is to have less clients that pay premium prices, right? Tell me in the comments, is that your goal, is to be able to work with fewer clients who pay you more? Or is your goal to work with more clients that can pay okay? I mean, and that's okay if that's your goal. Like, everyone's going to have different goals. But ideally, especially for consulting, you would want less clients at a higher price point. That way you can focus on them, you can really dive deep and really help them versus, you know, having everyone and their mother as your client and you're kind of like jumping all over here. I'm going to see what Bernadette said here. Hey, Whitney, love it. Said too many see first. Yep. I want to know how I can see them all so that I can delete. Bernadette, when you go to their pages, you can uncheck the following. You'd have to do it manually though, because I don't know of a way to see everything at once that I've seen. Yes, pay more. There we go. Yep. I'm going to put Whitney on the screen here too. So yeah, so that's the idea, right? When it comes to business, you want, yep, less is more. Yes, I'm going to pop that on there. Oh, we're going to move that so it's not over my head. If I get a celebrity, there you go. Woohoo. So that's what you guys want. And, you know, even if you're watching the replay, please answer that question too, because it's important to know that you want less is more, right? Well, now Facebook's figuring that out, and they're saying, okay, we need less is more too. We want people to spend whatever time they're spending on here, which it's gone down, as some of you have noted for yourself. Time spent on Facebook has gone down for the first time, like ever, I guess, basically. But that's why it's important to train yourself and your audience on these little tips, like not just liking your page, but following, which also means you have to change your verbiage, right? When you go to promo days, how many of you guys, even if you're watching the replay, how many of you guys have a Facebook group or are in a Facebook group that has promo days? Let me know in the comments. Are you in a group or do you have a group where promo days are available? Let me know in the comments there. Always got to have water. You got to stay hydrated, you guys. So when it comes to the groups and anywhere else really that allows promo days, because some pages might do it too. it is what it is. Wherever there's promo days, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you change your language from like my page to follow my page. See, there's a little difference there because like, follow. Because if they come to your page and you said like, they're used to just liking something. That's because we've been trained that way. So now we have to kind of back it up a little bit and retrain each other and train us to follow a page. Now, you'll notice too that you can do this in a pinned post. We've kind of seen this before, or you've seen it before if you've been on my page before. If you scroll down, and you can see how Facebook pages kind of take a while to load. Yeah, hopefully that will be improved at some point. But you can see here in my pinned post, I created a post that actually has a video that I uploaded that shows you how to do it from the mobile, from the phone, because it's going to look a little different from phone. So that way I can always refer people to my pinned post on my page. So if you're in there, so Bernadette, you have a group, but no promo days, but I'm in groups that have promo days. Perfect. No worries, Jane. We'll see you later. So when it comes to training your audience and posting in these promos, or even if you're just sharing your page with someone, start changing your language from like to follow and give them a reason why. We've talked about this. If some of you have been watching, we've talked about this a lot. You got to give them the why. It could be a sentence or two. We don't need a whole chunk of text that we're not going to read. We don't need like 5 paragraphs because nobody's going to read that. Sorry, unless it's really, really good, but still I might not even make it past the 3rd sentence, okay? The goal here is to get people to actually do something, right? So you want to make sure that when you're posting about your page, and I say pages because these are important and they've kind of been left in the dust for a while because everyone went to groups, and now it's like, oh, wait, I should be using my page because Facebook requires that you use your page for business. So you really want to make sure that you start working on that. So when it comes to posting, you want to make sure on promo days or anywhere else that you let people know, hey, this is my page. We cover XYZ. If you are interested in that, be sure to follow and drop a comment or check out the pinned post and say hi. Something like that. For example, I will usually say something to the effect of, here's my page. Please don't like or follow it until you've reviewed the content. If it's what you're looking for, because we talk about business tech and the user experience, awesome. Follow it and check out the pinned post. Say hi if you like. Drop a comment. Like, they may never do that or all of that, but they might just at least follow the page, which is great. Obviously, if you guys are watching me, hopefully you're following the page up top. But at least you've put it out there, and at least you went an extra step, right? Because when you start looking at all of those other posts, almost every single post is just a link, right? Am I right? Even if you're watching the replay, am I right? When you go through promo days, whether you're in a group or not, you probably see it in your newsfeed. There's some kind of promo thing, and in the comments, when you look at them, it's just link, 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 link. Maybe something saying hi, and then link. But there's not a whole lot of people giving the why. And if they are, it's not short and to the point, right? So that's what I want you to start thinking about is trying to craft something like that. And here's the cool thing, you guys. You craft it once, you copy and paste that to your notes on your iPhone, your Android, your Trello board, your Evernote, whatever, and then you copy and paste it any other time you need it. And of course, depending on what group it is or where you're at, you make minor changes to the wording just to mix it up a little bit, but at least you don't have to sit there and think about the whole paragraph. And I say paragraph, I mean like 2 or 3 sentences, if that. But you don't have to think, right? You've already done the work. You're just copying and pasting where you need to with minor changes. So think about that. Does that help you guys, even if you're watching the replay? So keep that in mind for getting people to like and follow your page. Now, here's the thing. What happens once they like and follow your page? Well, you have to have a plan. You got to have some content, right? I'm not talking about pumping out content every 5 seconds. I'm talking about what is your page going to do for you? What is it going to do for your audience? I can't just say because I'm awesome. Yeah, Erica, you could. That could work, you know. And that makes it fun, right? You might want to expand just a little bit, but that is something that you can definitely talk about. And, you know, let your personality out there a little bit, right? Like, it's okay. So when it comes to your page, what I want you to think about is it's a storefront window. I want you to be able to think of, you know, walking down, I don't know, is it Rodeo Drive or something fancy in LA or in New York? Like, you have these big department stores and they have so much space in their front window to display something awesome that catches people's eye, that brings them into the store to then shop and kind of browse and pick up whatever they didn't need and walk out with the purchase, right? That's what you want to think of your page. That's what your page is. It's a storefront window. So have a plan for it. And that plan can change and it can develop over time. And that's okay. But the point is you want to see what is something that you can just do consistently. That's a key, consistently, to help your page and to help your audience. Let me check the comments here. Facebook Pages is a one-stop shop in a way. It does everything. Yeah, so your Facebook page basically can be a one-stop shop. Now, again, you want to make sure that you have a plan in place. And for those of you who have a group, here comes the plan, right? If you have a group, then part of your funnel, right? You get first people in comments. Well, I'm going to make this up right now, and hopefully it flows as I speak. But you're on Facebook. You're browsing your news feed. You're in groups, whatever. It doesn't matter. You comment somewhere, because that's where the magic happens, right? In the comments. You comment somewhere. People find you. They go check out your business page. They like what they see. And if you have a group, you also have that as your next stop, right? We're going on a journey here. We're going on a Facebook journey. So we're drawing out the lines. Use pen and paper. Draw it out. Figure out, what are you going to post here? How's that going to connect to here? How's it going to connect to here? How am I going to get people back to my website? Like, these are all baby steps that we have to do in order to get that little trickle effect, if that makes sense. So really think about that and have a plan. You know, your page might be, Brenda, I'm going to use you for an example, jump roping. Awesome. Like, you can go through then and say, I'm only going to post, one video a day, an inspirational video of me jump roping and talking, or me with my jump rope, with my music. I'm kind of making these all up, but you guys can see what I mean. And I said video. Did anybody catch that? Tell me in the comments. Why did I say video? Even if you're watching the replay, you can still comment on this. Why am I specifically talking about video for your pages? And the comments will be a little delayed. Hey, Mickey. So when it comes to your page and being seen, you need video. Why? Because video is what people want. The whole plan. Yes, and funnel. Let me bring that up. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that smiley face. Thank you. Yes, the whole plan and funnel process is what you need help in. Yep, that's kind of where we're going with this. Ironed out within the next couple weeks. Perfect. You guys, this is what it's all about. It's about planting the seed, giving you a little bit of the info that you need to hopefully spark that next idea and to really think about pages. Because I feel like pages were one of these like things that it came up and then everyone was like, get a page. Oh, wait, go to groups and then forget about your page. And then now it's like, now we have to scramble. And nobody's really talking about the plan for the page. They're just saying to get your page and to post less. But what does that mean? What does that look like, right? Yep, showcase your personality. There you go. Allows people to get to know you. Yeah. So you guys, what's fun about, for instance, my page. So I want to say maybe October, maybe September, I think as far back there, I really focused on my page. Like, just like everyone else, I just was like, whatever with my page. I mean, I was posting, but I had no plan. And I want to say it was probably in September where I decided I am going to create a plan for my page. Like, I need to do something with my page because everyone's going to groups, but what about the page? Like, that was the next big thing or whatever in my mind. And I was like, we really need to focus on the page. And I don't do any paid ads, by the way. Let me just put that out there. I currently am not, and I have not. I'm sure there'll be a time and a place for that. But I have up to this point today, and I have no plans tomorrow or any other day. I have not done Facebook ads or any other ads. So I will tell you that all of my traffic, all of my viewers, like you guys, replay viewers, everyone, that's all organic. Meaning I've hung out with you elsewhere. You guys have discovered me through a friend. All of that stuff, right? And actually that's a fun question to put out there. How did you discover me? We kind of played with that a little bit at the beginning of the show, but how did you find me? Are we friends in real life? Are we online friends? Through a group? Through a promo day, which is kind of in a group, same thing. But pop that in the comments, even if you're watching the replay. If you remember, how did you find me? And if you don't, you can kind of say, well, I think it was probably XYZ. Maybe I just showed up in your news feed and you were like, well, this guy's cool. Let's check him out, you know? So rich friends, yes, perfect. So that, you know, you want to ask your audience where they found you, and that way you can go there. Yeah, Bernadette, no ads. That's what I wanted you guys to know, is that I have not paid for ads yet. And like I said, there might be a time and a place. Hey, Coach Glitter, shout out to Coach Glitter. There you go. Popping up on my feed here. You know, there may be a time and a place for that, especially as we get further into this Facebook change and everything, because they want you to pay to play. That's at least what everyone's talking about. And what you want to make sure that you do is not just throw money right at Facebook ads. Don't do that. Because what are you missing? What's one key piece to that puzzle that you're missing? If you go and say, okay, Ed told me I need to work on my page. I have my page. I'm going to throw money at Facebook ads, and everyone's just going to show up. What is missing from that equation? There's one key part there that's missing that actually funnels everything else in there. It's called the plan. What is your plan? Why throw money at something that you don't even know what you're going to do with it? You don't even know who you're targeting, any of that, right? So all you need to do is focus on your page now and then coming up with a plan. What's something that you want to post? I would say probably don't post more than 3 times a day max. You'll notice here on the page, if you browse my page, you'll notice that it's almost once a day. There's occasionally 2 times a day, depending on if I schedule an event or if I have a new product, digital product, which I post. You know, certain things every so often will be something different, but for the most part, I post once a day, consistently, Monday through Friday. That's the big one, right? I boosted posts early last year, but not planning to do it in the future. Perfect. Yeah, because there's that whole boost post and then Facebook ads and all that stuff. I'm sure is great, and there's obviously there could be a time and a place, and there could be some potential to make good money off of that at some point. I'm all about organic. As much as I want, as much as I can be. And that's why I'm really trying to just fight that. You know, I've been told from other people, they're like, well, why aren't you running Facebook ads? Why didn't you do this or that? I want to see what happens here. It's kind of cool, to be hanging out with you guys, to make this. I mean, listen, you guys, most of us show up Monday through Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to hang out on this show and have a conversation. Consistently. We've been doing it for 31 days consistently, right? Because it's officially, Ed Talk TV officially launched January 1st. But that says something. And it's one of those things, I've always had that kind of mindset of, it's like that exclusive club that you go to, or lounge, or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't have to be a club, but you know what I'm saying? Like we're like exclusive. And so then when people start hearing about us, which it's funny, I'm starting to get this now a lot. They're like, oh, I just discovered you, or that was really cool. I'm going to start following you more. And it's just like, it's really awesome to see. And then the connections, between you guys commenting and then also now coming on live, like yesterday with Erica, we had an awesome time, even though we had tech glitches. We even then afterwards, I kind of did a after party, because we know the comments are the after party. So I did an after party over on my personal profile where I kind of debriefed a little bit about how the show went, and Erica popped on and I was like, hey, let's just bring you on. And we just had a quick conversation about, the tech stuff, and it was just really laid back and chill. But notice that I didn't do it on my business page because we weren't really talking business. I mean, obviously we're talking about the show, but it's really one of those things that we weren't talking about the show. And I'm going to actually pop this for a second back to me, because I like to be full screen with you guys. And we'll get this back here. But we were just really casual, right? Like we weren't worried about lighting. I mean, my lighting was a little weird, and Erica's was off. And so that wasn't our point. Our point wasn't to have the lighting. The point was to just have a really chill conversation. And if others showed up, which some of you guys did, cool. But that's what it was. And then guess what? There was comments going on. Then afterwards, we commented. Yesterday, just after the normal show, you guys, I don't know if you know this, but after the normal show, I go through and comment back, and I try to hit every comment. Every comment. It takes me at least an hour to go through and connect with all of you guys. The more we grow, the longer it's going to take, right? And I don't have any help at this point. It's just me doing that. Hey, Lisa, welcome. So it's one of those things that, I'm taking the time out of my day to do that. Why? Because it's fun. I want to know. I want to engage with you guys, because right now I'm live, so I'm more or less, just giving the information and being able to somewhat play in the comments, but not a whole lot. Where we all excel, even on your own page and in groups and whatever, is when we comment. Why? Because our personalities come out. Because our insights come out. It's kind of weird because it feels like our insides come out. But you know what I mean? Like, it's that kind of stuff. Now, what I wanted to talk more about is the time spent on Facebook going down, and what this report said based on that. Because, it's key to start engaging. And here's the thing, before I get to that report. Once you have a plan for your page, what's really cool, and actually, let me see if I can bring this up. What's really cool is you can actually start. I'm going to see if I can go to Mari Smith's page, because she's awesome. I love following her, and we have great conversations on her live. I'm going to go to her post, or her page, and I'm going to pull up a post, and I want to show you what you can start doing to create connection with your page, right? What I mean by that is, let me bring this up. I'm going to prepare it for you guys. Facebook has made it easier now for you to engage as your page, not your personal profile, but as your page with others. So here, oh, Mickey, I have you up. There we go. Okay. So here is, shout out to Mari. Here is a post that Mari has, right? Well, we'll go to the latest one because this one's good. So if you're really curious, you can check out her post here. It has a lot of stuff about the new Facebook info. And he looked kind of sad. Sorry, Mark. But look right here. It now has an arrow with your profile. When you click on that, it will actually drop down and show you. It's going to take a while. My computer's a little slow here. Sorry, guys. It will show you your other pages, meaning here's my personal profile, here's my business page. So when I switch to my business page, I can then, and I already loved it earlier, remember, because we're going past the like, there's a time and a place for like, but really Facebook wants to see these going on because why? It means that we're engaging. We have emotions. We're starting to share a little bit more. So now I'm commenting or I'm liking, loving, whatever via my page. And on top of that, I'm now commenting as my page. Also, when I go to live broadcasts on the computer, because on phone, most of the time it doesn't let you by default on the phone. It keeps you as a personal profile. But if you go on your computer and you do just like this and you go onto somebody's Facebook Live, whoops, I clicked on somebody. We'll go back. So when you do that on somebody's live, you can actually engage in the comments as your business page. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. Mind blown. There you go. Boom. Boom. See that? There we go. So that's what I want you to make sure you do. Now watch. Let's see if I can go to yesterday's. I'm going to see if I can go, well, it's fine. It's there. So that's what you want to, let's see if I'm back on the eCam. There we go. That's what you want to start doing is go through with your page. I do more often than not, I comment, like, love, yes, as your business page. Perfect. I'm going to pop that one back on, and then we're going to pop this one back on. That's what you want to start doing. Perfect example, Nikki. You want to start engaging as your page. Why? Because that's where you're trying to funnel everyone, right? You're trying to drive traffic there. And then once they see your comment, they're going to see, even if you hover over, look, you guys, even if you hover over, I'm going to go ahead and go back to my page here. Even if you hover over someone's username, have you ever noticed that it will show their profile? Now it doesn't really show it on the mobile because again you can't kind of hover over, but you just have to tap. But on desktop it will hover over. So let me go here. Oops, we'll go here. All these tabs. Okay, there we go. Back. So if I go here. So Erin is a viewer and actually a good friend and new client. We had a great session yesterday. She left a review. Now look at this. When I hover over, I literally just put my mouse over it. And it gives me a quick preview. Now, let me move this out of the way. Now, when you are looking at your profile and you think about this, maybe, depending on what your profile has, your personal profile, maybe you want to change things up. I don't think I have, well, I guess we can see about here. See if this will do it. So it won't really show a good one here because it blacks me out because I'm actually on mine and I haven't commented as my personal profile. But basically, when you are hovering over people's names, you'll get to see that little profile image there. And then you'll go there and be able to see like what they have as a profile picture and then a little bit of their info, which is why on your personal profile, it's important to have information in your about section. Like make sure that you have that, so that people can see what's going on. You want to make sure, whoops, that's the wrong one. You want to make sure that these are little changes, but they can have a big impact later because people will start to explore. Like one of the first things that I do when I actually see somebody's profile, whether it's a comment, on a news feed or somebody wants to be a request to be a friend of mine, I immediately go to their profile, do a quick scan, and then I go to the about section. Most of the time, there's not a whole lot in the about section. That's real estate, you guys, that you're missing. It doesn't mean that you need to pitch your business. Don't get me wrong. That's over on your business page. But How about a link? How about some kind of direction? Like, I have a business page or whatever, like whatever works for you, and everyone's going to be different. But my point here is like, figure out where you're going to plant the little seeds with respect to Facebook and everyone's group and the rules and all that stuff. You want to make sure that you plant the seeds for these little things, because we're spending less time on Facebook, and the time that we are spending on Facebook, what are we doing? We're paying attention to people we actually care about, people we actually want to listen to, thank you, and people we actually want to learn from and engage with, right? Hey, Anna, you guys, you're a perfect example of what Facebook wants. We are a perfect example of what Facebook wants, right? Teamwork equals success, so we're all in this together. Like, without you guys, there would be no show. Without you guys commenting, sharing, showing love, there would be no show. Yes, I'd show up and deliver, but if there's no engagement, then that means that I'm doing something wrong, right? Maybe not wrong, but there's something that I need to look at. How do I create that engagement, right? And it all starts way at the beginning, right? Part of that plan. But even when you have a plan, you still have to figure out, well, what, for instance, we'll use the show. What topic, what's a good headline for what we're going to talk about? Because it's a talk show, so we're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to change throughout the show, right? The episodes. But what's something that's going to catch people's attention, but also be relevant to what we're talking about? Because unless you have notifications turned on and you're a diehard Ed fan, then you're not going to show up unless you see a good title that matches exactly what you were looking for. Am I right? Even if you're watching the replay, jump into the comments and let me know. So that's what you want to start thinking of Facebook more as. And if you're on Instagram, you can do the same type of idea. I'm literally updating the info on my About page as we speak. Look at that. Erica's doing the homework, as Whitney would say. I love it. You guys, when you show up and when you deliver and get that engagement, you have to understand there's going to be work to be done. We'll call it homework, and it's only going to take you to the next level, right? And that's what's awesome about this show, and gets me pumped. And speaking of homework, and I'm going to come back to this Facebook thing, but homework is important because it's part of your research, right? You're researching, which is watching me, and you're listening, you're asking questions, and you're listening to the responses, right? Ask and listen. Then you're taking that and you're filtering it, and you're applying it to your situation. That's your research. That's you implementing. That's you doing the homework. And from that, you're going to grow. And, that's kind of weird, right? And you're also going to have a better understanding of how this game, in this case Facebook, is played. I will give you a real life example that has nothing to do with Facebook, but it has to do with this game, the bigger picture. I am researching what a new car or a leased car, buy or lease, would look like in terms of payments. Because at some point, it would be nice to have a new car. Do I need one yet? No, thankfully. But it's getting older, my car. And while I love, squeaky doors and wondering if and when it's going to go out on me, I'd like to be prepared. And I like knowing where my money's at and what I need to be spending and where I need to be spending it. And because I have other goals this year and the car is not necessarily a priority, I want to factor in all of the pricing that I can. So part of that is researching with the dealership to know what exactly, or at least close to it, you guys. I like to round up a little bit, so I try to get as close to an estimate as possible. And, I walked in and I said, listen, I'm not trying to waste anybody's time. I mean, I told that to them before I even got to the dealership, because why waste anybody's time? My point is that I knew going in my plan. My plan is to research, to get figures so that I know how realistic this idea is or not. Part of that is knowing even those little details. How much time, in this case for Facebook, how much time is it going to take you? What do people want, right? When I went to the dealership, I said, listen, I want this model, I want this color or other color, like up to 3 different ones. I'm not really that picky. And all the extras that I want is a sunroof, if it's not too much, and black rims, and rear vents in the back for the dogs. Literally, that's all I said, right? Everything else is just bonus. And from there, we had the conversation, do all that stuff. But like I told them multiple times, I'm not going home today with a car, just so you know. Even if it's a great price. As somebody had mentioned here, I can't remember one of our episodes, but somebody said something, I think it was, I can't remember the episode, but it was last Friday where we talked about it, and it was about money. And, it may be a good deal, but it's not a good deal if you don't have the money, right? So it's one of those things that, for me, that's not my priority. I just want to know numbers because I need to see it all. I need to spreadsheet it all. I literally am like mapping it out, all this stuff, you guys. Probably more work than most people do. I'll just say that. Like, most people probably are just like, well, I just see a number and I just want to go with it. Or how can we knock it off a little bit? So I go in there and I'm like, listen, this is what I want. And then there's like, well, this is kind of, I came in with this price and then they're telling me this price. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work. Like, I need closer to this price. So you have to do your research. You have to do your homework, because that's how you're going to grow and that's how you're going to get to the next level. Now, before we close out here, I want to mention, before I get to this other last part, is that the connections that this show has already created, both in the comments here live with guests, has been amazing. Literally, you guys, we are, well, I say we, I'm in some other groups, and seeing the growth. Chrissy is one of our followers, viewers, and she was actually on the show recently. She has an amazing group, and if any of them are watching, I'm sure they'll see this later. You guys are doing an amazing job at going live. Like, just amazing. And to me, it's so cool to see all of you, including you in the comments, including you watching the replay, doing the work. Baby steps. I don't need you to get up to this level right now. I just need you to get to the next level. So if you're a watcher, the next level is commenting. If you're a commenter, the next level is sharing. The next level is loving or laughing or using one of the emojis down here, right? Like, that's your next level. Then from there, your next level is to become a guest, or to just go live on your own business page, or to go live on your personal profile if it's just to hang out with people. Whatever it is, I just want you to get to that next level. So that's the big thing behind that. Now let me switch over my screen because I want to share this with you before I let you go. Let's bring this up. We can get rid of my face there. I'm going to play this. This is a TED Talk that was out recently, and I want to play this little part here, and hopefully there's no issues with this, but shout outs to TED Talk. This is yours, not mine. But I want to play this part because it's very important to what we're talking about, what Facebook is talking about, and just how to live a happy life. So here we go.
Social integration. This means how much you interact with people as you move through your day. How many people do you talk to? And these mean both your weak and your strong bonds. So not just the people you're really close to who mean a lot to you, but like, do you talk to the guy who every day makes you your coffee? Do you talk to the postman? Do you talk to the woman who walks by your house every day with her dog?
So I want you guys to think about that. And the reason I bring that up is that social integration is huge. And as we can see, it's at the top of the list for how to live, live for 100 years. It's at the top of that list. It's what we're doing right now. That's why I want to point that out. It's us engaging with each other. It's asking each other questions. It's actually listening to each other, right? And let me ask you guys, Mickey, yeah, you saw it, right? It was good. So let me ask you guys, while I have you, even replay viewers, please answer. Do you talk to your postman or lady? Do you talk to the coffee shop person? Like, besides ordering your coffee, do you ask them how their day is? Like, do you go that little extra, right? Because that's what is going to help you. And it's going to help them too. I mean, some of the messages that I get from you guys are amazing. I mean, literally just light me up. And it could just be a simple, like, that was a great episode, to more in-depth ones, right? It all ranges. But the fact that you took time out of your day to comment, to show up here, to listen to me, you know, like I had somebody, a coworker of mine at my previous job, message me on Instagram. You know who you are, if you're watching this. Message me saying how happy she was for my success and to see how positive I am and how this show has expanded, right? That, it was only one sentence, and it was so good that it fueled me for the rest of the day. I was like, that's all I needed. I mean, I obviously didn't necessarily need it, but it was great to have, and it was good. So, you know, that's what you want, right? And of course, not every day can be positive and great and whatever, but it could be. It just depends on your outlook. And it depends on how much you start talking to people. Because here's the thing, we're more and more digital, right? We're more and more like this. I mean, that's, guys, when I go to the gym, I'm like this, hanging out with Erica, hanging out with Whitney, like talking with you guys in the comments. I'm not kidding. I'll be working out on the elliptical, or I'll go into the weights and do a set and then pick up my phone and start hanging out with you guys in the comments. I'm not joking. Like, literally, I'm the weird guy that is on his phone at the gym, but I'm not talking out loud. No, we play music. But I'm engaging with you guys constantly, because I want to know how your day is. I want to know what's going on in your world. That's why Facebook Live is so popular. Live video is so popular, and why they're pushing it. Because as we transition our everyday lives from hanging out on the sidewalk with maybe our neighbors to hanging out here online in a social group for social media, we need to be able to figure out, how can we connect? How can we have deeper connections? You know, real quick, if you're out, I don't know about your neighborhood, let me know in the comments, but in my neighborhood, I mean, we have great neighbors, and it's very quiet, but we don't have barbecues. Some of our neighbors we've never talked to. You know, there was crazy wildfires recently where we met our neighbors for the first time after 10 years. Like, it felt bad, weird, but it's like one of those things, because everyone, you know, you leave your house, you go to work, you come home, you hang out at your home, you hang out with your people. So social media is the same type of thing, right? Social media is like your home, and you don't really venture out of that. No, I'm not the only one. Okay, perfect. On the phone at the gym. Perfect. I knew it. So, you know, it's taking that, what we do in real life, or did in real life, and bringing it to the social, to the online world, which is why live video is so popular, and why I encourage you to continue to step up your game, get to that next level. You know, some of you have taken the training that I put out 2 weeks ago. Well, last week I think it was. And hearing the responses and seeing you guys go live has been amazing. And to see you go to that next level, right? Not this level. We're not there yet. We're just getting to the next level. So keep that in mind. You know, share any tips that you have on Facebook pages. If you come across anything, feel free to drop them in the comments. Like, all that stuff, because remember, it's not just you and me. It's all of us, and we'll be working together. So if you haven't done so already, after this, make sure to turn on your notifications up top. See what I did there? And make sure to check those. Also check your About section on your personal profile, as well as your business page. Because obviously, if I'm on your business page, I want to know, where should I go next? Website, right? So anyway, hope that works for you guys, and I will hang out with you guys here shortly in the comments. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care. This episode is sponsored by Stupid Easy. Easily create, share, and sell your online courses. Discover more at stupideasy.com.